Once in a while, we come across something which changes everything, the very fabric of our society. Today's video is dedicated to one such mega change. So, why it is important for all of us to understand this mega change? Well, just like those who anticipated the change brought in by the industrial revolutions and the internet revolutions were able to significantly benefit from it, right? Similarly, those of us who would anticipate and predict this change can actually benefit from it. Before discussing this mega change, let's see what the other revolutions which were there before this changed and how they changed the world. So, the first of all was the Industrial Revolution. So, Industrial Revolution helped the human race to scale the economy manifold. It introduced machines which were fast and can work 24/7, unlike humans, right? The next mega change was the change brought in by the World Wide Web, the internet itself. Internet solved many problems, but at its core, it solved the problem of communication and globalization, right? Internet gave rise to multiple job options which were never existed before. Social media, e-commerce, name it and you'll see something already existing in internet, right? If you have an idea or something to develop, actually you'll be a competitor to some others product. So name it and you'll find that idea on internet, right? Internet, with rise in internet, there was rise in capitalism and centralization. So let's say, to use any services on internet, you have to actually trust the central authority with your data, money, or anything which holds some value, right? If you want to transfer some money to your friend, you are actually trusting your bank to do it for you and to keep a record of it in their centralized databases or ledger, so that if your friends denies that he or she did not receive the money, you can actually show him the bank receipts, right? So all the data of centralized systems are actually stored in central servers. These central servers are one point of failure, right? It's if the servers are down, let's say someday this Facebook server is down and suddenly you guys cannot access Facebook anymore, right? If something happens on the data centers of Facebook, let's say earthquake or something, all the data centers are lost. So all your personal data are lost, right? So even if the money is yours, you need a third party like bank to watch over it, right? Same goes with your personal data. Like we all know, right? Where your personal data is currently getting stored, it's in the big data centers of major tech giants like Facebook, Google, etc., right? Based on that data, they play with you. They play with your attention span by recommending ads, showing you videos, TikTok videos, right? Or cat videos on YouTube recommendations, things like that. So what if I tell you that there is a better option available, wherein you can do all the stuff which you are currently doing on internet, but with the fact that you are not giving up on privacy. Okay, so here comes the superpower blockchain, and blockchain at its core solves the problem of trust. Okay, just like internet solved the problem of communication and globalization, industrial revolution solved the problem of economy of scale, blockchain actually solved the problem of trust. You don't have to trust any service provider in order to do business with them, in order to transact with it. Okay, trust is actually inherently built into the system. So if you are using any system which is built on blockchain, you are not actually trusting the third party, or let's say here, if you are using Facebook, which is built on blockchain, you are actually not trusting Facebook to store your personal data. Your personal data will be in your server. It will be with you all the time. Okay, so let's just understand what blockchain is. Let's jump right into it. Okay, so what is blockchain? A blockchain is basically a protocol for designing better web application, a better decentralized application. Okay, it is similar to TCP/IP. So we all know what TCP/IP is, right? TCP/IP was the protocol to handle all communication in centralized application, right? If you are trying to connect to Facebook, you actually communicate through the underlying protocol TCP/IP, or any application is doing that on internet, right? So blockchain is basically a protocols, actually a bunch of protocols which is needed to solve a lot of problems uh, in current systems. Okay, so let's take an example of a distributed application. We all have used it in our past. It's torrent, right? We all know what torrent is. So basically, torrent is a peer-to-peer network. There is no centralized authority controlling torrent. So if you want to be the part of the network, you actually download a client, BitTorrent, MuTorrent, and just connect to that torrent network, and suddenly you have access to multiple peers, the leechers and the seeders, right? You can send movie files, videos, download movie files and videos, right, on a peer-to-peer manner. So this was the first, not first, but yeah, uh, a better, a decentralized application in the past, which we have all used. In the same way, a blockchain network is also a peer-to-peer network, which where every node or the peer holds a ledger of record. Okay, and by the magic of cryptography, all these ledgers are of all the peers will be in sync all the time. Okay, so Bitcoin was the first implementation of blockchain. Bitcoin, so Bitcoin is a hot keyword, right? So Bitcoin was actually designed in or developed in the year 2008 with by a team or an individual. We never knew who that was. So we all know that Bitcoin was designed by a guy or a team named Satoshi Nakamoto, and uh, it was launched in the year 2008. The robust nature of blockchain, the underneath technology behind Bitcoin made it scalable. Uh, so when Bitcoin started in 2008, the value of Bitcoin was in pennies. And if you search in Google today's price of Bitcoin, it's more than $9,000. So in the span of 10 years, it grew from pennies to $9,000. So there is something behind Bitcoin which is making it happen. That is nothing but blockchain. So blockchain is the technology behind Bitcoin. Okay. So don't misjudge Bitcoin and blockchain, two different things. So when the Bitcoin started growing in 2008, 9, 10, right, a group of community started developing. Like people were started noticing about what Bitcoin or blockchain technology is. They started writing blogs, articles, podcast, and all those things. So in the year 2014, there was a kid named Vitalik Buterin. He was 19 years old back then. Okay, and he was the core member, not core member. He was kind of a core member of a magazine called Bitcoin .org. If I don't Probably I don't remember it correctly, but there was a magazine publication and he was one of the writer among them. So he actually studied Bitcoin white paper deeply and noticed that if we can have Bitcoin like application for all the applications like e-commerce, like social media, like any application which is in current web 2.0 or internet, can we have it on a decentralized web? So he thought of designing a framework wherein people like us developers who can develop decentralized application without worrying too much about the underneath protocol. Okay, this led to the formation of Ethereum in the year 2014. So with Ethereum is a programmable blockchain wherein you can create your decentralized application, any sort of decentralized application. So 2014 gave rise to blockchain 2.0. So in this space, Bitcoin is called Bitcoin first generation blockchain, Ethereum is second generation blockchain, and we have more to come. Soon enterprises also started noticing this big change. Okay, and due to the fear of missing out, it they gave rise to private blockchains. So private blockchains are nothing but uh, small network of participants who are doing business among themselves. So let's say a private network of 5 or 10 participants who are involved in a supply chain project, supply chain project, wherein a network can be of 5 manufacturers, 2 distributors, 3 retailers, right? These kind of network you can create using different private blockchains. So there are many private blockchains, but out of them, Hyperledger, Fabric, R3, Coda, Quorum, these all are the major blockchain projects. IBM actually started Hyperledger Fabric, and soon like other companies followed. So Coda is from a company called R3, Quorum is from a company JP Morgan, Intel provided Sawtooth. So all the major enterprises, they started working on enterprise blockchains. So in the entire span of 10 to 12 years, right, 2008 to 2020, the world has seen 3 generations of blockchain. Bitcoin, the first generation, Ethereum or Ethereum like programmable blockchain, like which uses smart contract to write business logics and all. It's called second generation blockchain, and there are third generation blockchain, which we'll talk later. So the current, in our current scenario, we are currently at in web 3, we are currently at second generation blockchain. Okay, so the problem with blockchain is the current transaction speed of blockchain based system is it's 7 to 15 transactions per second, which is very less compared to what centralized systems are giving. So if you compare with the transaction throughput of Visa or MasterCard, they have 2000 transactions per second. They can process more than 2000 transactions per second, whereas a Ethereum DApp, a Ethereum decentralized application, can only process up to 7 to 15 transactions per second, right? So there is a very long way to go in third generation blockchain. There are techs, there are demos coming out for third generation blockchain. Ethereum is launched, like they will be probably launching Ethereum 2.0 in 2021 or 22. Cardano blockchain is already, they have launched a beta product. So things are growing too fast in this industry, and with Ethereum 2.0 and Cardano, there are designs where you can actually the throughput will be enhanced manifold, like probably it will jump more than 2000 transactions per second. Okay, so yeah, so this is the current roadmap of Web 3.0. Bitcoin started in 2008, 2014, Ethereum and similar blockchain projects came into picture. In 2017, it was a great, like big hype by like more than 5,000 projects on Ethereum were launched. In 2019, things settled down, and people are now realizing the actual potential of blockchain. So cryptocurrency is the first implementation of blockchain. So just like email, right? Email was the first implementation of internet. So in the same way, cryptocurrencies are the first implementation of blockchain. So currently currently blockchain is in the year, so internet was in the year 1990, right? The current situation of blockchain is the same. So if you remember, in 1990 internet was nowhere, right? People were calling it as a dot-com bubble. So just grab a history documentary of internet, you can watch it over. People in that space were very susceptible about the dot-com bubble. They said that this dot-com bubble will burst in like it won't last for around 2 years or more. But where we are now, we see internet everywhere, right? So there are bubbles, the bubble bursted, but now the technology remains, right? So people are now realizing the actual potential of blockchain. They are solving the nitty-gritty issues which are there in blockchain, the scalability issues, and yeah, we are growing from there, right? So how do you benefit from it? So let's jump into who the heck is a blockchain developer. Okay, so see, blockchain developer is so anybody can be a blockchain developer. The one who was developing a e-commerce application, the one who was developing any like or who was testing something, the one who was doing RPA testing. So anybody can be a blockchain developer. It's just that you need to do a mindset shift. So while designing a centralized system, we were thinking of client server architecture. Just that, right? Just the client server architecture. How do we design a user interface wherein your client will talk to a server and all the communication will happen? But in blockchain, there is no client, there is no server. Everything is decentralized. There is no common database, right? So, and here nobody is controlling it. So when you are part of a blockchain based system, there is no forget password option. There is no central authority who is going to send you a link to to reset your password. All those things are not there. It's you who will be responsible for everything. It's the node, is the peer or the participant who will be responsible for everything. So it's kind of a mindset change while designing a blockchain based system. So this mindset change will come when you study distributed systems, when you study cryptography. So I've not talked about cryptography much, but under the hood, blockchain is basically a mix of two different technology. One is distributed system, the other is cryptography. Okay, but like when you are designing an e-commerce application, you don't have to worry about the TCP/IP protocol, right? How you are communicating with it. Just that TCP/IP exists and you build over it. In the same way, Ethereum has done all the jobs for you. The protocol layers is already taken care for you. You have to know about the protocol and then you can develop applications over it. Okay, so There are multiple frameworks, blockchain frameworks. Ethereum is for public blockchain. Hyperledger, okay, Hyperledger is an umbrella which is taken, not umbrella as an umbrella, Hyperledger is an umbrella. Underneath there are multiple projects donated by multiple companies. Fabric is donated by IBM, Sawtooth is donated by Intel, and there are many more. Okay, and Hyperledger is taken care by Linux Foundation. So Linux Foundation is the open source community which takes care of these projects. Okay, so when you are a beginner into blockchain technology, you can start from Ethereum, learn Fabric, learn Sawtooth, and yeah. So what are the languages which will be used while writing the business logic on blockchain applications? So for Ethereum, it's Solidity. Solidity is similar to JavaScript. Not exactly, but yeah, similar to JavaScript. Okay, so Solidity is being used to write smart contracts. Smart contracts are nothing but normal, business logics basically. In Hyperledger Fabric, we use Golang, Node.js, and Sawtooth also Node.js. So there are multiple SDKs, software development kits provided by this private blockchains. Okay. Also, here you need to worry about network setup. So while you are, let's say you are setting a supply chain network for Fabric, so here you need to worry about setting up 5 different networks at 5 different instances, let's say EC2 instance or any Ubuntu machine, right? So how to communicate within these machines? So there is something called Docker and Kubernetes. The Docker and Kubernetes will help you with DevOps, right? So DevOps knowledge is also very important for a blockchain developer. Okay, so if anyone manages to solve all these hurdles, you get to see all the perks also. So let's see what are the perks of being a blockchain developer. So yeah, first is higher salary. So blockchain was among the third among top 10, right? Blockchain was marked first or third, I don't remember, but yeah, it was in top 3 from LinkedIn jobs. So, and LinkedIn salary packages. Okay. So probably I'll link the PDF underneath in this description. Basically, higher salary as in when you compare with your peer who's into, let's say, Java, .NET, testing, right? So probably more than 150%, 200% salary hike will be there for a blockchain developer. As there are less developers and more opportunity, the opportunity for remote jobs is very very high. The opportunities, the options are good. Okay, low entry barrier. What do I mean by low entry barrier? So the tech is new, not everybody is expert in blockchain. So probably your interviewer will ask you simpler questions. So if you are more than intermediate in blockchain, probably you'll get a good job. Okay, and blockchain is so as we discussed, right, blockchain is going to stay. Blockchain is not just another framework or not just another tool set. It's a revolution, it's a technology shift. It will change the way we think, it will change the way we design application, it will change the way we transact in with values. So what I think is blockchain is going to stay, and blockchain is going to stay for long. So when you are deep in blockchain, you'll understand like blockchain and AI actually make a good mix. So these technologies, right, blockchain, AI, ML, these all technologies are called layer technology. What do you mean by layer technology? So not everything will be built using blockchain. You will need AI, you will need RPAs. Okay, So combination of all this layer technology will eventually build a stable, robust system. So blockchain is here, going to stay here, and so no more career switching. You can trust it, you can change, you can learn, change your career, and you can stay with it. Also, as we are currently in blockchain to second generation blockchain, right? A third generation is yet to come in near future, probably one year, 2 year down the line. Once that is done, right, there is going to be a huge scale. Why? Because the scalability issue will be solved for blockchain. Once the scalability will be solved, everybody and anybody will jump into it and create applications on it. So there is going to be a huge high demand for it. High demand for whom? The developers, right? So developers are the one who will be creating applications. Okay, so what are the career opportunities? If you ask, career opportunities can be a blockchain consultant who can actually transfer, talk to the client and get the requirements, transfer it into which blockchain model to choose, how to model the use case into a blockchain based use case, right? The second can be a blockchain network guy who will set up the network, DevOps related part, Kubernetes, Docker, network setup, all those things. The third can be an application developer over blockchain, is also called as a smart contract writer. Okay, those who write smart contracts. Okay, so there are multiple career opportunities. Also, if you are not from technical background, you can be a technical writer, and being a technical writer with blockchain AI is also a great learning, and you'll actually earn a lot while compared to not normal write-up. So I think 2 to 5%, not 2 to 5%, let's say, as far as I know, content writing in blockchain or any technical writing is a big deal, right? So yeah, so I told you all these things. Who am I? Right? My name is Hargovind Gupta, and I'm a senior blockchain developer. I'm a trainer come full-time freelancer, working on different blockchain technology like Ethereum, majorly on public blockchain, like Ethereum, Quorum, less into Fabric and other R3 Coda. But yeah, being a freelancer, you need to know everything. So yeah, I have been working on all these technologies from last 3 years. And yeah, if you have any doubts, these are my LinkedIn and Insta handlers. You can reach me out, and probably we can discuss over a call. And also, with these perks, right, if anybody is looking for something into freelancing, there is a lot more space available in freelancing currently. If you search in Upwork, there are the number of jobs for freelancing is way higher compared to any other jobs. So blockchain jobs were the top rankers in Upwork. Upwork is a platform where you get freelance gigs, right? Okay, so yeah, we are open to questions. Thank you, everyone.